Hi everybody, Kelly here with my kitties and my dogs out here in the sticky humidity. It feels like 94, that's about 34 Celsius right now. But I'm out here to talk about heated situations. In other words, conflict. The most recent podcast episode is just a tiny snippet of a much larger conflict resolution workshop that I actually enjoy teaching because conflict can make a lot of us uncomfortable or avoidant or totally stressed out, but it doesn't have to. So if you want to learn more about bringing my workshops to your workplace, just reach out to me and let me know. But in this video, I'd like to share a bit more about one of the biggest challenges that I see when a person or a group is dealing with conflict. While we generally go into a conflict hoping to resolve it, it's so easy to get stuck in the problem identification stage and never move past it. Now, what is the problem identification stage? It's the phase of conflict resolution where the symptoms and the causes of the conflict are discovered, brought up, and discussed. And by the way, symptoms and causes are two different things. It's also where the roles of the people involved in the conflict tend to surface. Now, obviously, this is a super important part of the process of resolving any conflict, but it can also be a danger zone, because you can lose yourself in this stage so much that you don't necessarily realize that it's time to move on to the next stages of identifying actual solutions and then implementing those solutions. So what does this danger zone look like? It can look like repeated rehashing of the same situation or topic. It can look like infighting, gossip, and further segmentation of the groups on the sides of the conflict. So smaller groups break off and then form subgroups that then begin to attack each other, subgroups that are supposedly on the same side of the conflict. It feels like sort of a spiraling situation where you discuss something, you feel you're ready to move on, and then that same discussion just keeps coming up again and again. And that's where the frustration really starts to build in that spiral, because energy is being expended, but no forward momentum is actually happening. So, does this sound familiar? Let me know below what kind of danger zones you've gotten stuck in, because we have all done it. Now, it's so important in a conflict that different perspectives are heard and understood. However, there will be a point where we have to recognize that not everybody is going to see the problem or the conflict the same way we do. Know that you're not going to convince everyone. There will come a time when the people who didn't know about the conflict or who were unaware of your perspective will know about it, and they will want to work with you to solve for that conflict. But there will be others who know about the issue, who have heard other people's perspectives, and will not change their opinion on the issue. At that point, it's not your job to try to convince those people anymore. They may want to engage in the conflict part of the conflict, but not in a mutually beneficial solution to the conflict, because maybe they may not even see that there's anything that needs to be solved from their perspective. They likely have their own deep-seated reasons for holding on to the way that they've been doing things, and frankly, that's on them to change. So cut them loose. Solve what you can with the support that you've already garnered, because here is the key point. If you never get to the practical solution stage in a conflict, you're never going to see any change happen. Think about your spheres of control, right? You won't be able to force people to see your perspective no matter how hard you try and no matter how just and true your cause may be. So save your energy and direct it into moving forward where you can with the support that you've already gained. That will hopefully resolve some of the bigger issues that are causing the conflict in the first place. And sometimes that has to be good enough for now, because you don't want to lose momentum. You can use that momentum to move the situation or conflict in the direction of the solution that you want. And then you can continue to inch forward with solutions that, over time, will hopefully convince those who didn't want to change their perspectives that just maybe, their ideas might not have been the best. But again, that's on them. Now, we have a saying here in the US, don't throw good money after bad. That means once you've tried to fix something and it still isn't working, don't keep trying to fix the same broken thing. The same works with our energy in a conflict. Spend your energy as a precious resource where it counts. Once the issues have been identified, it's time to focus that energy on actual practical solutions. So I hope this has been useful for everybody. If you want to hear more about conflict resolution, listen to the newest podcast episode, Managing Conflict Without Becoming a Jerk, available wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, my cats may love it out here in the heat, but I am melting, so I'm going to go get back in the AC. Bye, everybody.